Hi, I'm Damon, and I'm about to tell you the most insane story of my life. 30 years ago, my wife Linda died in a car accident. At least, that's what I believed until 3 months ago when my phone rang at 4 in the morning. I grabbed it, half asleep. Hello? Damon? It's me. It's Linda. I sat up straight. Who is this? This isn't funny. I know you think I'm dead. I need to explain. Can we meet? My hands shook. My wife died in 1994. I buried her. Who are you really? The Riverside Diner, tomorrow at noon. Please, Damon, I'll prove it's me. If this is some sick joke. Remember our honeymoon in Catalina? You lost your wedding ring in the ocean and cried. I told you it didn't matter because I'd always be yours. My breath caught. Nobody knew that story. Linda? Tomorrow, please. She hung up. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. I kept staring at old photos, wondering if I'd lost my mind. The next day, I walked into that diner, and there she was. Older, different hair, but unmistakably Linda. How? I whispered, sliding into the booth. I'm so sorry, Damon. I was young and stupid and scared. Scared of what? We were married. I mourned you for 30 years. She reached for my hand. I pulled back. Don't touch me. Explain. Now. I was drowning in gambling debts. $70,000. Loan sharks were threatening me. Why didn't you tell me? We could have figured it out together. I was ashamed. Then Marcus approached me with a plan. Marcus? Your cousin Marcus? She nodded. He worked at the insurance company. He said we could stage my death, collect the life insurance, split it, and I'd disappear. You'd get $300,000, more than enough to what? Replace my wife? I stood up. You let me believe you were dead. I gave a eulogy at your funeral. There was no body. You cremated an empty casket, Damon. People were staring. I sat back down, lowering my voice. So where have you been for 30 years? Arizona, new identity, new life. But I'm sick now. Cancer. I wanted to see you before you actually die. And what, you want forgiveness? I want you to know I'm sorry. I leaned forward. Did you get any of that insurance money? She looked away. Marcus said there were complications. I only got $50,000. He kept the rest. And my $300,000? What $300,000? Linda, I never received a penny from your life insurance. The company denied the claim. They said suspicious circumstances. I lost our house paying your debts. Her face went pale. That's impossible. Marcus lied to both of us, didn't he? She started crying. I ruined everything for nothing? No, Linda, you ruined everything because you're selfish. You destroyed my life, and I'm going to make sure you pay for it. I walked out of that diner with a mission. Linda thought she could waltz back into my life? She was about to learn that Damon wasn't the same man she left behind. The next morning, I called my nephew Derek. He's a criminal defense attorney, and he owed me after I helped him through law school. Uncle Damon, it's 6 in the morning. Derek, I need your help. My dead wife isn't dead. Silence. Then, I'm coming over. Don't talk to anyone else. 2 hours later, we sat in my living room with coffee. Start from the beginning, Derek said, recording on his phone. I told him everything. When I finished, he was already making notes. This is insurance fraud, identity fraud, and probably a dozen other charges. Do you still have documentation from 1994? Everything. The death certificate, the insurance denial, the loan shark payments I made. Good. We need a private investigator. I know someone. That afternoon, I met Detective Sarah Chen in Derek's office. She was sharp, no nonsense, exactly what I needed. Mr. Damon, insurance fraud cases this old are tricky, but not impossible, she said. Especially if Marcus was involved. He'd have left a paper trail. What do you need from me? Everything you have. Photos, documents, recordings. Did you record your conversation with Linda? I shook my head. I was in shock. Derek jumped in. Can we get her to talk again? Maybe wear a wire? Sarah nodded. If she admits to the fraud on tape, we've got her. And if we can connect Marcus, we can nail them both. She said she has cancer. She's dying, I said. That's why she surfaced, Sarah replied. Guilty conscience. We can use that. How do I get her to meet again? Call her. Tell her you want to understand. Play the sympathetic ex-husband, Sarah instructed. I don't know if I can pretend. You can, Derek said firmly. Think about all those years, Uncle Damon. All those birthdays and holidays alone. You can do this. Over the next 2 weeks, Sarah worked fast. She called me one evening, excited. Damon, I found something. Marcus filed for bankruptcy in 2001. In the documents, there's mention of a $350,000 asset from 1994 that he quickly liquidated. The insurance money, I breathed. Exactly. He took it all. Linda got pennies compared to what he stole. Can we prove Linda was in on it? I tracked her new identity, Susan Morrison living in Phoenix. She's worked under the table for years. No tax records until 2010. That's evasion right there. Derek called the next morning. Uncle Damon, I contacted the insurance company's fraud division. They're very interested in reopening this case. The statute of limitations hasn't expired for insurance fraud in our state. What do we do next? We set up a meeting with Linda. You wear a wire. Get her to confess everything. The plan, Marcus's involvement, the money. My heart pounded. When? Tomorrow. I'll have Sarah set it up. Can you handle this? Derek, I've waited 30 years for answers. I can handle anything. That night, I barely slept. Tomorrow, Linda would tell me everything, and she'd have no idea I was recording every word. I met Linda at a park, wearing the wire Sarah had given me. My nephew and the detective watched from a van nearby. Linda sat on a bench looking frail. You came. I need answers, Linda. Real ones this time. What do you want to know? Everything. Start with how you and Marcus planned it, she sighed. Marcus approached me in early 1994. He said he could access the insurance database, create fake accident reports. We just needed to stage everything perfectly. The car accident? We used a junked car. Marcus had contacts at the police department who filed false reports. I disappeared the night before the accident. You were at your conference, remember? I remember coming home to police at my door telling me you were dead. Marcus paid off the coroner's office to issue a death certificate without a body, said the car fire was too intense. And you just left? Started over? I was terrified, Damon. The loan sharks were going to kill me. Marcus promised me half the money, $300,000 to disappear and be free. But he didn't give you half, did he? Her voice cracked. He gave me $50,000 and said the rest had to go to expenses. Payoffs, he claimed. I believed him because I was desperate. So Marcus kept almost $300,000 and I got nothing. I lost our house, Linda. I paid your gambling debts with my savings. I didn't know. Marcus said you'd get your insurance payout. He made sure the insurance company denied my claim. Suspicious circumstances, they said. He played us both. What are we going to do? I stood up. We? There is no we, Linda. I'm turning you in. Her face went white. What? Police officers emerged from behind trees. Detective Chen walked up with handcuffs. Linda Morrison, also known as Linda Hayes, you're under arrest for insurance fraud, identity fraud, and conspiracy to commit fraud. Damon, please! I'm dying! I have cancer! You should have thought about that 30 years ago. You destroyed my life for money you never even got. Derek appeared beside me. We also have a warrant for Marcus Hayes' arrest. He's being picked up as we speak. Linda struggled as they cuffed her. I came back to apologize, to make things right. You came back because you're dying and scared, I said coldly. Real remorse would have brought you back 29 years ago. I loved you, Damon. I always loved you. No, Linda, you loved yourself. That's all you ever loved. Detective Chen read Linda her rights while I watched the woman I once loved break down completely. The insurance company is very interested in prosecuting, Derek told me. They're seeking full restitution, plus damages. Between Linda and Marcus, you're looking at getting everything back, plus interest. I took a deep breath. Good. Because I'm not stopping until both of them are behind bars. As they led Linda away, she kept turning back, crying my name. I didn't flinch. I didn't waver. That chapter of my life was closed. 2 months later, I sat in Detective Chen's office with Derek as she laid out the final results. Damon, I've got good news, Sarah said, smiling. Marcus Hayes took a plea deal this morning, 20 years in federal prison for insurance fraud, wire fraud, and racketeering. Turns out he pulled this scam on 4 other people. 4 others? Derek asked. How did no one catch him? He worked in the insurance fraud department. He knew exactly how to avoid detection until now. I leaned forward. What about Linda? Linda refused the plea deal. She wanted a trial, thought sympathy for her cancer would save her. It didn't. Jury convicted her yesterday. 15 years. 15 years? She won't survive that with her cancer. Sarah's expression hardened. That's not our problem. She made her choices. The judge was particularly harsh because of the decades-long deception. Derek pulled out paperwork. Uncle Damon, the insurance company settled with you. $300,000 from the original policy, plus $300,000 in damages, plus interest accumulated over 30 years. You're getting just over $900,000. I sat back, stunned. $900,000? They wanted to avoid a larger lawsuit. Their fraud department failed spectacularly. This is them trying to make it right. What about the houses and assets Marcus bought? I asked. Sarah grinned. All seized. The court ordered liquidation. You're getting another $200,000 from his assets. Linda had nothing to seize, obviously. So over $1 million total? 1.1 million to be exact, Derek confirmed. The bankruptcy court is processing everything now. You'll have the money within 60 days. I exhaled slowly. I never cared about the money. I just wanted justice. You got both, Sarah said. Marcus and Linda both requested to speak with you before sentencing. We told them you declined. Absolutely declined. I have nothing to say to either of them. Derek nodded. Linda's attorney tried to paint her as a victim of Marcus's manipulation. The prosecutor shredded that argument with your wire recording. She was a willing participant who destroyed your life. Has she said anything? I asked. Sarah checked her notes. She wrote you a letter from jail. We have it here. Do you want it? No, burn it. I don't care what she has to say. Good, Derek said firmly. Because forgiveness would dishonor everything you fought for. They don't deserve it. What did the letter say? I asked suddenly. Sarah hesitated. Are you sure you want to know? Just the summary. She claims she never stopped loving you, that the cancer made her realize she wasted her life running. She begged for one final visit. And my answer is still no, I said firmly. She had 30 years to come clean. She only surfaced when death was staring her in the face. Derek squeezed my shoulder. You're stronger than I ever realized, Uncle Damon. I stood and shook Sarah's hand. Thank you for everything. You gave me my life back. You did the hard part, Damon. You didn't let them get away with it. Later that evening, Derek and I had dinner at the Riverside Diner, the same place Linda first revealed herself. How does it feel? Derek asked, knowing they're both going to prison. Honestly, it feels like I can finally breathe. For 30 years, I thought my wife died tragically, learning she chose to leave, chose to fake her death, chose to let me suffer. That was worse than any accident. What are you going to do with the money? Travel, live, maybe even date again. I'm 72, Derek. I've got some good years left, and I'm not wasting them anymore. He raised his glass. To Uncle Damon, who proved that justice doesn't have an expiration date. We clinked glasses. My phone buzzed. A message from Sarah. Marcus just had his assets seized. Final total, $1,247,000. You won completely. I showed Derek. He whistled low. That's real money, Uncle Damon. Blood money. But I earned it through 30 years of suffering. What would you say to Linda if she was here? I thought about it. I'd tell her that she didn't just fake her death. She killed the man I used to be, but I rebuilt myself stronger. And now I'm free while she rots in a cell. That's all I need to say. Derek smiled. She and Marcus thought they were clever. They forgot that the truth always surfaces eventually. It took 30 years, but it surfaced. And I was ready. The waitress came by to refill our coffee. You gentlemen celebrating something? Justice, I said simply. She smiled. Best thing to celebrate. After she left, Derek leaned back. You know what I admire most about you, Uncle Damon? You could have let bitterness consume you. Instead, you channeled it into action. I had good help. You and Sarah made this possible. We just opened doors. You walked through them. Not everyone would have had that courage. I looked around the diner, feeling lighter than I had in decades. Linda had stolen 30 years from me, but she couldn't steal my future. That belonged to me now. Have you ever discovered that someone you trusted completely had been lying to you for years? What would you have done if you found out a loved one faked their own death? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.